The University of Pittsburgh School of Arts and Sciences congratulates Gretchen Bender as a winner of the 2009 Tina and David Bellett Teaching Excellence Award. Established in 1998 with a gift from Arts and Sciences alumnus David Bellett and his wife Tina, this annual award recognizes outstanding and innovative teaching in undergraduate studies in the School of Arts and Sciences. Gretchen Bender is a lecturer and director of undergraduate advising in the Department of History of Art and Architecture at the University of Pittsburgh. She came to Pitt in 2002 with prior teaching experience at Carnegie Mellon University, the University of the Arts in Philadelphia, and Bryn Mawr College, from which she received the Doris Sill Carland Prize for Excellence in Teaching. Bender is a recipient of the Whiting Fellowship in the Humanities.
There's three manifestations of the Kachina in Hopi culture. The first is the actual divine spirit themselves.
Bender is a graduate of Franklin and Marshall College, the American University, and Bryn Mawr, where she completed her PhD in German art of the Romantic era. Her research interests include German visual arts, architecture and popular culture, feminism and art history, self-portraiture, Romanticism in Europe, and 19th century painter Caspar David Friedrich.
It was my very first teaching job, right out of the gate. As my first standalone job, I was put in that room in front of 200 students, and I was quite nervous. And your tendency is to try and get everything down in your notes, to get it right, to say everything there is to say. And so when I first taught the course, I was standing behind the podium with a great deal of sort of authority. But in fact, I think the podium does the exact opposite. It presents a barrier between you and the students that disconnects you from them.
But Gretchen created this environment where you talk to her and you listen to the other people talking, and it was a discussion, which is incredibly difficult, if you ask me, to get out of a giant auditorium classroom. And I began to participate in these discussions, and I realized that other people were catching on too, and it just sort of created this environment of wanting to learn and really get into the thought behind the art.
She's very knowledgeable about her material, and so in the class you realize that she knows exactly what she's talking about, and so there are no answers. You can't really BS your answer. You have to have a good idea of what you're going to say.
In a big institution, these are scary places to be for 18, 19-year-old people. Not everybody is gregarious and open, and not everybody feels secure. And some times, I think we're so busy, and we have so much work to do. I think it's unusual for students to have a faculty member turn to them and just simply say, "What did you do last night?" Or "What did you think about that game?" Or did you turn that big project for Professor Batista in? How did that go for you? And I think it takes them aback, that somebody's taking an interest in them, and it just there's a relief, and then they talk.
She's very kind. If you ever need help, you never feel like intimidated by that. Like, she's very, very comfortable with her students and very inspiring. She has a very good vibe about her, just a very naturally good vibe.
I would say that she's probably one of the most accessible professors and advisors I've ever had at the university.
It doesn't take very long. It doesn't take 10 seconds to say hello in the hallway, between here and the office, to stop and ask somebody, how they're doing. And when you do that, I think they remember you're here. They know your office is right around the corner, and when they need you, they don't hesitate to come and knock on your door.
I've got, half ideas in my head, but I don't know if something is plausible or probable or possible, and I go in there and I say, "Gretchen, these are my thoughts, do you have any suggestions?" And I always walk out feeling like, hey, I can do this.
Simply be able to share what you know about the world is such a rewarding way to lead your life, that I just knew that in some way, shape, or form, being a teacher was something that was always very much of interest to me.
The thing that I think is most important, and what Gretchen has taught me in the 2 classes I had her for, is to appreciate art beyond just its kind of definitive characteristics. I've learned more about history through art history, and I've learned more about, various religions in the world through history. I've learned about ancient cultures, and she has kind of gotten it to the point where you can use art to kind of as a catalyst for other things and the way you see the world.
It actually embedded on my syllabus as part of my objectives for the course. The very last thing I write is, if in the future you find yourself in a foreign city and you want to go and take the time to look at that art museum or to go to that historical site and see that architecture, I'm happy that I've done my job.